Hey, okay. So this is the first one that I'm doing. I don't know if I'll keep doing them or what. But I am trying to get back into shape. I'm trying to lose a little bit of weight. I'm trying to figure out how to run faster and eventually do a decathlon once decathlons are available, like open to open athletes again. At this moment, it is May 9th. I am 32 years old, and when just sort of starting to try to get back into shape a little over a week ago, I was 212 pounds. Um, so I used to be a thrower. I always was interested in multi events, and I am just gonna track what I'm doing. Some days, some weeks there may be videos, some weeks there may be photos. Meh. But right now it's just going to be the spreadsheet of the work that I did this past week, and how I felt about it, what went well, what didn't go well, and how I'm feeling. So the overall goal before getting into the nitty gritty of this week, like I said, is to get in shape to do decathlons. Uh, from everything that I've seen and how I feel when I'm in shape and competing, is that you need to be pretty lean to do a decathlon. There have been bigger, heavier decathletes, but often they are very tall. So, there have been world class decathletes that are 220 pounds, but they're also 6'6". Um, for the most part, I realize that it's not a good measure of fitness or health, but on average, the BMI of a decathlete is somewhere around 25. So the smaller athletes are still around 25. The taller athletes are still around 25. And their specialties just kind of go hand in hand with the event that they are built for. Those bigger athletes are going to be better throwers, better high jumpers. The smaller athletes are typically going to be a little stronger, maybe in the 400, the 1500, um, uh, maybe a little bit faster, depending on how tall, how short these athletes are. So I am aiming for competition weight of 165 pounds. I'm 5'9". That's like very, you look at those numbers. It's very small for a decathlete, but there aren't very many decathletes that are that short. So 165 pounds is suitable. Supposedly, Brian Clay's competition weight was around 165 pounds. Even though you look at him, you'd never think he was 165 pounds. I don't know if that's true. I would think he's probably closer to like 175, 180, whatever. Um, so what's on the screen? So end goal of losing weight down to 165. When I started this a little over a week ago, I was 212. When I The plan is to just gradually cut down. It's not a super rapid weight loss. I'm talking over the next year, probably 9 months. I think if I can stay steady, and there's more than one of these videos that I'm making right now, because it may just be as simple as I make this video and never make another one, but I'd like to say that I'll make more. And they're just going to be ranty like this. They're just as much a log for myself as they are for anyone who's interested in watching. So, what's on the screen right now is my daily weight since the end of April when I started tracking this. First column is a summary of the exercise that I did. The second column is the comments, and then the date, weight, and then total weight percent loss. I also have daily percent loss and daily weight loss in straight pounds. And all of these numbers are, it helps keep me motivated. I did this in 2019 when I was losing weight leading into my wedding and into a decathlon I did in 2019. So that was actually really beneficial. I can actually pull that up now. So this is my 2019 one, and it feels really good to see green. It really is. It's very nice. And if you look at this chart, you can see sort of what I'm visualizing with this chart. The blue line is the actual weight each day. The green line is a moving 7-day average, which is like a more realistic measure of what you weigh at any given time, because you don't have like, well, I drank more last night, I drank less last night, I had a huge dinner last night, like those kind of things. Just kind of balance out, and that's why there's like these. It's a little less sporadic. It makes a little more sense to me. The light blue line is a linear trend line for my weight. The orange line is if I was losing 2 pounds a week. The red line is if I was losing 1 pound a week. So you can see that I was somewhere between 1 and 2 pounds a week, all the way across. And it was really successful. It worked really well. The thing is, when I was losing weight in 2019, I really wasn't exercising much. I was very busy with work. I was very busy with having gotten engaged and the wedding and everything. So it was really just eating less. There was no activity involved, which is different for this year, where I plan to be pretty active while losing weight. So I may end up eating more. As you can see here, I ended up losing 9.33% of my body weight. And that was, honestly, I felt great afterward. I ended up at 180 pounds. I ended up like in the high 170s for a few months afterward. I stopped tracking because I had the competitive track season. I coach high school track, and then the wedding and everything else. So I was busy, but this method of tracking worked really well for me. So I ended up just duplicating it for 2021. So far this week's been really good. I had a few days where I was just eating out like leftover food that I had prepared previously that wasn't really considering what I was trying to accomplish. But since then, it's been really good. We've ordered food, we've eaten with family, and I was still able to eat what I needed to eat. And 1 week doesn't necessarily accomplish a ton, but it felt good to be able to get a good head start on things, and if I can keep going in the future, then I am going to be very happy. That first column is the exercise. You'll hear Bailey barking in the background. She's going to be barking on and off. Unfortunately, there's one dog in the neighborhood that she hasn't had a chance to meet face to face, only from a distance, and they're currently standing outside our house having a discussion with somebody else. So Bailey is not super excited about that. Hopefully it doesn't affect your ability to hear me. If it does, what are you going to do? These videos aren't exactly high production value. So as far as I'm starting off very easy. I just don't want to hurt myself. I want to be able to continue to remain active and slowly build towards sprinting faster, which is my main weakness in the decathlon. And if I can sprint faster, then all my other events get better. 100, 400, 110 hurdles, long jump. I'll get into this in some other video, but I want to be able to sprint faster. So all of my training is based on sprinting faster. I'll take a quick glance at this sheet, which is an explanation of how I'm putting together my sprint training. My sprint training is based on a meta-analysis article done by a academic somewhere in Scandinavia, I think it was, and he has just basically compiled a lot of the sprint research that's been done, and it's a pretty recent article within the last few years. And it's saying, what does it take to be an elite sprinter? And I realize I'm not an elite sprinter. I'm never going to be an elite sprinter. But it gives me an idea of like what the recommended training is, and what I'll do is just follow the training, right? Like what's the harm? It's not the kind of training like I have some books here. Right? I have a bunch of different coaching training research, coaching training, not really research, but coaching training books. And they often just say, like, this is an example of the workout. And it's like Clyde Hart, 400-meter coach, Baylor, saying, this is how you do it. And it's like, this is an example of the workout with times for the reps. Run a 470. It's meaningless to me. It doesn't provide percentage of effort. It doesn't provide percentage of time. Okay, so they're whatever. This headset turns off if there's no audio running through it for 10 minutes. So since I was only speaking, they turned off. So this one provides percentage intensity. It provides recovery, total session volume. Kind of how you should be doing these starts, whether there should be like aggressive starts or just sort of standing starts where you roll into it. How much rest there should be between them. This one isn't as important to me because the programming is actually provided to me in the form of the different phases of training. We have early preparation, mid preparation, late preparation, mid season. I don't have a season coming up at all, so my intention is to do 6 weeks of each training option. And if there are things that I can't do because of access to facilities, right, I'll make adjustments that are suitable. But I'm going to try and do everything exactly as instructed. So these first few weeks of the early preparation period, like I may even extend the early preparation period beyond 6 weeks because I don't have any fitness right now, effectively zero fitness, and I don't want to hurt myself. So I am as a hill sprints, hypertrophy, strength, tempo, speed, endurance, hypertrophy, strength, tempo. Like that's the week. That's my training week, and I am going to avoid doing too much. So on like a tempo day, tempo tells me that I need to do 100 to 300 meter reps with 60-70% intensity, 1 to 3 minute recovery, 1,000 to 2,000 meter session volume. So these first weeks, I'm doing 100-meter reps at 60% intensity with varied recovery depending on how much I need, 1,000 meters of volume. Like I'm doing for a lot of people it would be a warm up. But I need to make sure my body is just ready to do something after not training and being for my body and for my joints feeling like I'm just a little heavy for it. So I'm just taking it really easy. So the end result of this first week of training right here. And there's some field event stuff mixed in. I'm a high school coach, so I am sometimes working events with kids, and I just take advantage to do a little bit of work. I was a thrower. I'd still consider myself a thrower. So those are the events I'm least worried about. I know that as I get stronger again, as I just get some reps in, I'll be able to throw a suitable distance in the throwing events. The thing that I currently have no like really training in, no effectiveness in the decathlon is the sprint events. So we have Monday hill sprints, javelin hard picks, 5 extra short. So Love Lane is a long street that is like a dead end, so there's not any traffic on it. It's a couple 100 meters long if you take the hill all the way up. So I'm just breaking it up into depending on what I need to accomplish from my hills. The extra short one is probably about 50 meters, if I had to guess. It's a relatively short section of the hill, and I can break it out into however long I want to, depending on the hill work that I need to do. Hypertrophy strength, again, I'm starting real easy. Front squat, stiff-legged deads. I'm just trying to work some muscles into my body. I also did a little bit of bench. I just didn't record it. Tweaked a little something on my back, but it's pretty much fine now. It didn't prevent me from running at all. It was just, I must have just nicked something a little bit. Tempo, 12 by 120 yards. Thankfully, there's a turf field directly across the street from my house, which is always really busy, but early in the morning and late at night it's empty. So I just head out there when it's dark and I can do my reps. Felt good. Pretty uneventful. Like, it's my first workout in forever, essentially. So it's good. Speed endurance, 6 by 60 yard at 90% with 4-minute rest. Felt good to run fast. I hadn't run that fast in literally over a year. It felt good, and I didn't want to tempt fate, so I cut it short. It was originally supposed to be 10 by 60, but it feels good. I'll rework this first week of the early preparatory phase as many times as I need to until like my muscles and my feet and my shins and everything are ready for training. Again, light lift on hypertrophy strength, just related to my back feeling a little wobbly. I didn't want to back squat heavy or anything. And then another tempo day, identical to the earlier tempo day, which is I'm going to be on the turf. It's a nice soft surface. The top of my foot started to hurt a little bit, which is something that I had a problem with on my left foot in years past. I'm just going to slowly ramp up. If anything bothers me, that week's training is getting cut short. It's just what I'm going to do. And if it's like, hey, my knee needs rest, then I'll spend more time in the weight room bench pressing. If I hurt a shoulder, then I'll spend more time running. I just want to stay active and prevent myself from getting injured. And then Sunday, which is today, is off. I'm done. So that is the first week of training, a little more than a first week of weight loss. In future videos, I'll go over my PRs, and I do have a lot of training video of myself from years past. I graduated high school in 2007, college in 2011. I am well past that at this point. But I do have lots of footage from back then, and I could share some videos of my PRs and past decathlon results, and long-term goals. So if you listen to this whole thing, great. Thanks for listening. If not, it's just a log of my own work, and have a great day.